Senator Irwin,
Here.
Senator Esserholz, here. Senator Houston,
Here.
Senator Michael,
Here.
Senator Nielsen, Senator Patricius,
Here.
Senator Patel,
Here.
Senator Rice,
Here.
Senator Rosquist, here. Senator West, Senator Wilson,
Here.
Speaker Buck.
Here. And with that, we'll move a little out of order this evening, moving into new business, starting with the presidential proclamation recognizing Angelina Izzo's exemplary service to Whitewater.
Hey everybody. I've met and read many bills in my time with WSG, many of which are about individuals like Angelina. And I think this one might be the most deserving. Right, I lived through a couple of things in this bill about how the organization was in a time of uncertainty. We really needed somebody to help kind of bring it together so we can move forward as a team. And Angelina did just that. And so one of the first things I did when I took office in July was I started writing this proclamation that I felt if there's one person who really deserves it, it's Ange. So I'd like you to read through it. I'd like to read the last two little paragraphs here because I think they really sum up what I thought was so special about Ange. Whereas President Angelina Izzo always advocated for student safety and served as a pillar of hope, especially when protesters threatened that very principle on our campus. And whereas President Angelina Izzo will forever serve as an inspiration and a reminder that all students, regardless of their experience or background, can stand up and better the lives of their fellow Warhawks. That's all I'll say to present. I encourage you to read through it, and very well deserved. It was a pleasure working for you.
We'll move into discussion on the bill this evening. Is there any discussion points, Director Robinson?
I think when you look at the three words on the wall, she embodied all three of those. She embodied advocacy, collaboration, and elevate. I think the organization went to a different height. It went to a collaboration. It went to a place where people felt welcome, where people felt encouraged. I think that we moved forward, and I think Doug understands just as much as anybody who worked with you how big of shoes he has to fill.
Any other discussion points this evening? Otherwise, I'll go. I was obviously the speaker last year as well, and you have to work with the president in order to do that, and working with Ange was, I wouldn't say it wasn't one of the most difficult things I've had to do. I think we worked very well together. You worked very well as a team. I enjoyed your leadership style. I learned a lot from you, and you made my experience here at WSG very enjoyable. So I thank you for that, Dr. Reiser.
I just want to say thank you for the ability to work with you. Your ability to be assertive, but also incredibly compassionate and always thinking of the students is really inspiring. And it really was an honor to work under you and learn from you because I did really learn a lot.
Director Naki.
Working with Ange was just truly such a highlight of my junior year and last year, whether it was in class or in the office. Truly, she made the hardest of times even enjoyable. So being able to keep a positive outlook and keep moving forward through everything that we went through last year was just awe-inspiring. You're such an incredible leader for the students and truly exemplify what it means to be a Warhawk here at Whitewater.
If any of you remember my crying speech at the end of the year, or the last meeting, you all know how much I appreciate this woman, and I will make it short, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her, and I will forever be grateful for that. And she's my favorite president, because she might be my sorority president too, but I love her, and I'm proud of everything she did. It was a really hard year for pretty much all of us, but she made it through, and she worked very hard for what she did, and I'm just so appreciative of her.
Any other discussion points this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none. Thank you for the bill, President Bradley. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Senator Culberson.
Present.
Ireland.
Ireland.
Oh,
Aye. Okay. Senator Dewey.
Aye.
Senator Irwin.
Aye.
Senator Esserholz.
Aye.
Senator Houston.
Aye.
Senator Michael.
Aye.
Senator Patricius.
Aye.
Senator Patel.
Aye.
Aye.
Senator Rice.
Aye.
Senator Rosquist.
Aye.
Senator Wilson.
Aye.
Speaker Pettis.
Aye, and with that, the presidential proclamation recognizing Angelina Izzo's exemplary service to the Whitewater has been passed unanimously. Angelina, if you would like to do yours or not, that's okay too.
I just want to say it was a great year. Thank you to everyone who worked with me and for me. I think we accomplished a lot. I still think that there's, sorry, I'm trying to chew gum and talk at the same time. That doesn't really work. I think there's still a lot to do, so I look forward to seeing what this new group has to offer and completing and just bettering our school for our fellow classmates.
Thank you. We appreciate the work you've done here. Thank you. Moving back on track as we move into special orders, move into the Senate oath of office. So if you were if you ran as a senator last week and you got your signatures approved, I have right here your last name, Han, Dorsey, Carter, and Lupin. You can come forward right here. Alright. You have been chosen by the students of the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater as a senator on the student government. Understanding that you have been chosen to perform such an active and important role, you accept the position as senator on the student government. Understanding that you have been chosen to perform such an active and important role, you accept the position of senator, all the responsibilities, duties, and privileges that it will include. If so, say I will to the best of my ability.
I will to the best of my abilities.
Repeat after me. I state your name.
I will Carter.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
to fulfill the obligations and responsibilities of my office,
to fulfill the obligations and responsibilities of my office,
to be knowledgeable of
to be knowledgeable
and uphold the WSG Constitution,
of and uphold the WSG Constitution,
the WSG standing rules,
the WSG standing rules,
and university policies
and university policies
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, it is my pleasure to introduce the newest senator to the Whitewater Student Program. All right, moving into the appointment of three off-campus Senate seats. Anyone interested in three off-campus Senate seats this evening? You can come forward. If you could just say a little bit about yourself and what you like doing with Whitewater Student Government, that'd be great.
Hello everyone, my name is Kayla Williams and I'm a senior majoring in human performance with a minor in allied health foundation. I am currently involved as the Black Student Union undergraduate coordinator and am an athletic trainer with the football team this semester. I am running to be a Whitewater Student Government Senator because I not only want to step out of my comfort zone and continue to grow individually and professionally, but because I want to increase student engagement on campus, understand how WSG works, and be a part of the decision-making processes that will have lasting effects long after I have graduated. Throughout my time on the campus, I have had many experiences, good and bad, which is why this role would mean a lot to me to lessen the bad times and increase the good times for everyone, not just the ones that look like me. If granted the role of senator, I will work hard to always put my best foot forward, holding myself and others accountable, and last but not least, be willing and open to learn.
Thank you. We'll move into questions this evening. Do we have any questions? Senator West?
How do you approach working with someone who has different beliefs than your own?
I feel that we always encounter people and not everybody has the same thought process, so just being open and willing, being understanding, and not taking things necessarily personally, and just keeping it professional.
Senator Rice?
How would you describe your leadership style?
Being on the Black Student Union, and just in general, like I said, I was an athletic training intern. I do like to listen to what other people have to say and learn from the people, not necessarily underneath me, but the people that are trying to help me conduct and criticize myself.
Any other questions for Wilmar Center West?
If there's anything on campus that you could change without money being an issue or labor, what is something you would look to change?
I feel one thing that I would like to change would probably just be, not more funding necessarily, but making sure that all of our diversity groups are still lasting and can still be here long after a lot of us have graduated.
Perfect. Thank you for those responses. You can head back to the gallery. Move into secret ballot vote with a vote of aye or nay, so there's only one candidate this evening. Vote of 17-0. Congratulations on becoming the newest Whitewater Student Government Center. If you can just see me after the meeting for additional information, that would be great. Thank you. Moving on to the appointment of one at-large seat. Is anyone interested in the one at-large seat this evening? You come forward, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Juan Ratzlaff and I'm a first year student here at Whitewater. I'm majoring in information technology. You might remember me from the election last week. Last week's meeting was the first student board meeting that I ever been to. And I came just to check things out, but very quickly I became excited about this organization and how active it is in the mission of bettering student life here on and off campus. And I would love to be a part of it. While I'm not yet involved in much here on campus, I served on my high school student council. I was on the leadership team of my high school's diversity club, where I was active in promoting and celebrating different cultures and organizing fundraisers. And I was also employed at a local coffee shop where I was able to develop my skills of communication and organization. And so I'm excited for this opportunity to use those to better my community.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Moving into questions this evening. Do we have any questions for the candidate? I'll start, please. Talk about your leadership positions in the past.
Sure. So I was on the leadership committee on my student council, and I worked with administration in a student life committee where they gave us policies to look over and to comment on, and at the end we had like a little vote on recommending it to the administration or not recommending it to the administration. On my diversity group perspective, I ran some fundraisers which helped some local charity organizations, including Pillars, which was it helped the homeless community. And then,
Perfect. Any other questions this evening? Sarah Houston?
If someone were to offer you criticism, how would you react?
Well, I would try my best to take it, sometimes I take offense, but do my best to accept it openly and take it under consideration and change.
Perfect. Move the last question, parliamentarian Rodriguez.
What are 3 words that describe your leadership style?
I would say open. I like new ideas. Focused, because I usually have an idea and I work with other people to pursue that. And then active. So I stay with everybody and keep with it, even when things might seem a little challenging.
Thank you for those responses. You can send back to the gallery. We'll move into a secret ballot vote again with a vote of aye or nay. That will be shown on the screen as well. With a vote of 17-0, congratulations on becoming the next Whitewater Student Government Senator. With that, moving to the appointment of 2 Esker sentences. Anyone interested in the 2 Esker sentences this evening? Perfect. You just head to the gallery. You just give a little bit about yourself, why you like to Whitewater Student Government. That'd be great.
So, my name is Nathan Schmidt. I'm a freshman here at Whitewater, but my credits I'm a sophomore. I'm majoring in poli-sci. Currently, I'm getting actually involved in lit. As soon as I heard about lit for Wells West, I decided to involve myself to bring more events there. I'll focus a little bit more on my time because that's about the only thing I'm really involved in right now. So I'll focus a little bit more on my past as an officer. So I was an officer at the Waterford Student Council. I actually spoke my senior year at the WSG, the Wisconsin Association of Student Councils, where I spoke twice for 40 minutes about different things I had done at Waterford. As my position of Sergeant at Arms, I actually worked with the school board. Actually, this is the first time I'm not in the school board meeting. They're actually running one at 6:30, so it's a little bit weird for me, but I sat on the school board and brought up all the clubs, what the clubs were doing and different events at Waterford to the school board. I was also on a committee with our associate principal about exam exemptions, which was a huge topic at our school, whether we should have exam exemptions or not, and what the criteria needs to be. And just a couple of reasons why I would like to be senator is, number one, I've seen what one small voice can do in terms of implementing change. I've seen it at the high school level. I'm sure it's even exponentially greater at the college level, what one person and even a group, a body like this can do. Number two, I'm a political science major. This is a step in the right direction in terms of leadership skills, communication skills, all that stuff. And finally, there's a lot of great minds here. Obviously, there's a lot to learn from you guys. I would like to pick your brains, I guess, and bounce ideas off of you, and hopefully, maybe you learn something from me.
Perfect. Moving to questions then. Are there any questions for the candidate this evening? Senator Irwin?
If elected, what is one specific issue you would like to focus on?
So personally, as a freshman, this is one issue that I genuinely struggled with is it was always hard for me because I never felt like I was informed. I was always trying to like call the college about this, call the college about that, and I was always struggling to figure out what was going on half the time. So I'd really like to have a greater outreach towards freshmen and really guiding them into a smoother transition into college.
Are there any other questions? You have 2 more questions. Based on your leadership skills in the past and positions in the past, what are some skills that you developed that you can carry over to Whitewater Student Government?
Well, I would say the 2 biggest is number 1, transparency. And going to those school board meetings, sometimes kids would actually have questions about, why was this policy implemented? Or even on the student council level, why was this done, why was that done? And I always like having those open conversations, being like, this is why we did this is the reason behind it. And I would say the other thing is perseverance. There was a lot of times where I didn't think, where it looked really down and really like it wasn't gonna happen. For example, which I know you guys really don't deal with this, but my junior year, it was the first time we ever brought back winter formal in 6 years. Administration actually told myself and the advisor that we weren't actually gonna get it done. And we ended up getting it actually off the ground and having 200 kids out of a school of 800 show up. And the next year we even grew onto that and even brought a spirit week back.
Any other questions this evening? Senator Rosales?
What do you think your biggest accomplishments ever been, and why were you proud of that accomplishment?
So I think I have 2 in mind. I think the first one was bridging the gap between administration, staff, and students, which was a big thing when I first stepped into office. Is there wasn't a lot of transparency. Staff wanted a certain thing, admins had another idea, and of course the students were always angry, as high school kids always are. So the fact that I was actually able to open those doors up into the inside and actually, explain to them why this stuff is happening and how they can make a change, that was a huge thing. I would say the second thing is, I was a lifeguard for a year, and I would say one of the biggest achievements there is quick responding and being able to deal with emergencies. I had a gentleman actually slip and break a rib, where I had to respond to it by myself, so I was able to quickly make that decision on how to appropriately address the situation.
Nice. Thank you for those responses. We head back to the gallery. We'll kind of see your ballot vote again. Vote aye or nay. All right, with a vote of 16-1, congratulations on becoming the next Whitewater Student Government Senator. Please also see me after the meeting for additional information as well. Thank you. Moving into the appointment of 1 Rock County Senate seat. Is anyone interested in the Rock County Senate seat this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none. Moving into guest speakers this evening, starting with Taylor Designer, the City Director of Economic Development. You have the floor.
Thank you. Yeah, of course. I do have to admit that that it feels kind of weird to be here as someone who has served on their student senate. It's kind of nostalgic to be here. Just like how you had said, I am the City of Whitewater's Economic Development Director. For those who are not familiar with that role, I work to promote the development of the city, and that works in a couple different ways. The first being housing, so residential and commercial. A little bit of background is that in the past year or so, the city has done 51 residential homes. We've also just approved an apartment complex of 128 units. So, post-grad, if you're looking for housing, call us up. The next half is the business recruitment and expansion efforts. With that being said, the city has really put forth an effort to expand our local businesses, especially in our downtown space. An example of this is Whitewater Windup. The city had actually partnered with an activist, which I don't know if you all are familiar with. I see some familiar faces and some snapping, so I believe so. With that being said, we partnered with them to do a business plan competition. With that being said, we worked with the university professors to call them in to do marketing classes, financing, business 101, just to help guide those business owners. Another thing is that we've worked with businesses to make them want to come to Whitewater. So whether that be chain restaurants, local entrepreneurs, or things of that nature, that's something that we have worked with as well. And the last facet is a community development portion, specifically community engagement. An example of this is Food Truck Fest on Saturday. Don't know if you came on down, but the city had their first ever Food Truck Fest, which is really exciting. We had about 12 vendors, ranging from donuts to beer. We had it all. So with that being said, I just wanted to come and introduce myself and kind of connect, as you all are a large part of our community. I just wanted to introduce myself and then pick y'all's brain about things that you would like to see, and then answer additional questions that you have.
Perfect. I guess we'll open up the floor to any questions this evening. Do you have any questions as of right now? Going once, going twice, seeing no questions. If you don't have anything else, I guess thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it and all the work that you do for the city. Well,
yeah.
Thank you. Moving to the approval of the agenda and minutes this evening, we have a motion to approve the minutes from September 9th, 2024. Senator Rice?
Motion to approve.
All right, there's a second. Seconded by Deputy Speaker Wilson. Is there a voice vote? Commissioner Call. Any opposed? Seeing none, the minutes from September 9th, 2024 have been approved unanimously. Moving to the approval of the agenda for September 16th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Senator Rizal?
A motion to approve.
Seconded by Parliamentarian Rodriguez. Is there a voice vote?
Acclamation.
Call. Any opposed? Seeing none, the agenda for September 16th, 2024 has been approved unanimously. Moving to student issues and concerns this evening. Any student issues and concerns in the gallery? Going once, going twice, seeing none. Moving into reports this evening, starting with external committee reports, if we have none. Moving into officer reports, starting with President Bradley.
Hello again. Anybody know what tomorrow is?
Constitution Day.
Constitution Day. One of my top 5 favorite holidays. I can't really put in any kind of order. It's what my top 5 are. So that's a conversation for a different day. I'd like to share with you my favorite amendment in honor of Constitution Day. And I know it's boring, and it's the usual one, but my favorite amendment is the First Amendment. I think it's, in my opinion, one of the most important ones. Anybody know what the First Amendment is?
They offer you the 5 freedoms. Mr. President, do you know what they are?
Yes, I do know what they are. Thank you. The First Amendment RAPS, R-A-P-P-S. Religion, assembly, press, petition, and speech. It allows us to do what we're doing here, assemble and represent our peers. And I think it's really what makes our state and our country very unique. So that's my favorite. If you want to talk to me more about it later, I would be happy to engage in conversation around the First Amendment. But let's get into some business here. I invite you to read my report. Simply put, it was quite a few meetings last week. Call special attention to dining meetings were had. We're working through some dining concerns, so please know concerns you've brought to the executives are being heard and handled. I attended Faculty Senate last week. They meet regularly throughout the month. I attended the first one. I also attended the Baldwin Fair. Special thanks to Senator Khan and Director Reiser, Deputy Speaker Wilson, Vice President Bain, Director Dowdy for the setup. Thanks to who else I saw there, but thank you all very much for helping us out. I will call that an event a success. We received quite a few students interested in joining. We will be reaching out to them soon. Also met with the Vice Chair of the WW Foundation, Ms. Sally Bean, to discuss my role as a foundation board member. And I met with Vice Chancellor Brenda Jones to discuss the Sarah Road Initiative. And then finally, I think it's broken up, but I attended adult departmental overview meetings with Associate Vice Chancellor Student Affairs Frank Bartlett, as well as some others. This week, I'll be meeting with Chancellor Corey King, the Vice Chancellor, and Chair Governance leaders tomorrow morning. We will be discussing the Student Organization Freedom of Expression Statement. If you have anything else that's really pressing, come let me know and we can talk about it there. Also tomorrow, Whitewater County Council will be here for their meeting in this very room, so I urge you to attend. I will again be discussing the Freedom of Expression Statement, as well as supporting Vice Chancellor Brenda Jones on the Sarah Road Initiative. Some of the meetings, I will be with Angela Doney showing Governor Tony Evers around campus this week, primarily the University Center, so more to come on that. And some other meetings, more than alt. And Friday, I meet with Gabby Drown at a regular scheduled meeting. Like I said, lots of meetings, lots of places to go. Any questions and all of that is here for your reference as well.
Any questions for the President this evening? Going once, twice, seeing none. Anything from that report, Mr. President? Moving to the report of Vice President Bain.
Well, Douglas stole my thunder with the First Amendment there, but I like it for a lot of the similar reasons. Just thinking about Whitewater today, that we wouldn't be at the place we are if we didn't have that freedom of religion, speech, press, and other things as well. But jumping into the updates, I attended the Enrollment Fair with a few of y'all in the room. I'd like to have a special shout out to Senator Khan, who's manning that table for hours. So you can get a round of applause for him real quick. Great work with that. I attended a few segregated fee departmental meetings this Friday with President Bradley and a few others over here. And I am continuing to organize the office, collaborating with Tessa to digitize some more documents in there, just kind of get stuff out and digitally so we have less clutter in there. Working on binders, and I should have those to y'all by next Monday, along with new inserts for those of y'all who already have binders. And so for this week, I will be collaborating with Director Ballesteri on the Housing Fair, which is October 1st, if anyone was wondering. Also organizing office pictures. So we get a big pile in the office. I'll have more about that during the announcements section. But yeah, I'll have the binders done by next week, and we'll be attending more segregated fee departmental meetings on Friday.
Are there any questions for the Vice President this evening? Going once, twice, seeing none. Thank you for that report. Moving to the report of WSG Advisory Building.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good evening, everyone. Just a friendly reminder, the reason why we're sharing love tonight is that due to your efforts and the efforts of others on campus, us teaching people about the Constitution, assist all the students at UW-Whitewater to be eligible for FAFSA money. So if you're wondering why we're talking about it today, that's the why. Would anyone like to pick a number to between 1 and 27 for me this evening? Anyone?
That's fine.
26. 24. Number of home runs I hit this season. Okay, so 24 actually prohibits the revocation of voting rights due to the non-payment of a poll tax or any other tax, which means in the U.S., because of our constitutional amendment, they can't charge us to vote. So really important to know that you register, as you all will. 24th Amendment protects you from paying for it. I was asked by a couple people in the room to just share with you this evening very quickly something that we like in student government, what we'd like to staff and agree. But the other part that we'd like to share with each other is a way for us to call each other in and remind us on how we might be more welcoming to other folks, different and the same as us, and it's called PEEP. It's very easy to say, let's just say it together. I know I'm over here sounding like a frog. I should be saying ribbit, but say peep, right? Just like a little bird, peep, peep. It stands for psychological, environmental, emotional, and physical safety, which means we're looking to include everybody. And that inclusivity can be in any number of ways. If someone was staffing, right, I would say staffing a table if I didn't know their pronouns or their gender, right? I could say staffing, right, because that's neutral. Or perhaps if you're referring to me and my pronouns, I use she and they, so you could use either of those and using proper pronoun. It helps people feel safe in our environment when we greet them, when we come in the door, when we make sure that someone can assess the podium or have access to the materials in a way that they can read it. And when we feel like that's not happening, we can just give a gentle reminder, and all you have to do is say peep. So one of the challenges that I'd like you to have with yourselves for the next week is to challenge yourself not to say you guys in a group of folks that may not all identify as male, such as this one this evening. So if you hear anybody say, hey, you guys, or you guys can do this or whatever, I would just invite you all, don't scream it, but you absolutely can say peep, right? And that person will be like, oh, oops, my apologies, I meant everybody, right? So it's a way for us to call people in without making them feel awkward, but knowing that we're all working to have WSG and campus feel more inclusive of everyone and their identities, as there are many, and that's what makes our campus so rich. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I will yield to questions.
Are there any questions for advisability? Going once, going twice, seeing none. Thank you, advisability, for that report. Please feel better soon. Moving into e-board reports, evening, starting with Director Reiser.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a good weekend. So for last week, I met with several of the deans. I talked to Dean Vick. There's a 4+1 program that is going into effect this spring. Basically what that is you can take some grad classes and count them towards your undergrad degree. There are some logistics with that, so if you're interested in doing that, I would definitely talk to your academic advisor to see if that's worthwhile. I talked to Dean Klingenberg, and we were talking about how they're continuing to develop plans for the Winther and Heidi remodel. And then I also had conversations with Dean Ambrose. I also met with the Advising Strategic Action Plan meeting, so the Major Change Forum, hopefully that new one will be rolled out by the end of this semester. And with that, we had really good conversations about advisor reassignment and how some students can kind of be like left in the in-between, and we were discussing ways to avoid that, and the Major Change Forum will definitely help. And then I also attended some career services meetings with Director Robinson. They are getting a student advisory board going, and so each college will send a representative, and so that'll have good conversations about how to improve career services. We are working on a survey that will collect data on what students are saying about career services, so we're getting that up and going, and it should be sent out this week. So keep an eye out for your email, because we'll need all of you to complete that. This week, I have some more meetings with some of the deans, and then I have a lunch with Dr. Peter Felton, and he's an author of a book that is getting dispersed to administrators and faculty and staff on campus, so that'll be a fun lunch. With that, I yield any questions.
Are there any questions for Director Reiser? Director Smith?
What's your favorite amendment?
Thank you. My favorite amendment is the First Amendment. I, in high school, was an editor for our school newspaper, so I have kind of, I'm partial to the First Amendment due to the freedom of the press.
President Bradley?
Not a question, but I'd like to add on. The book Dr. Felton wrote is called Relationship Rich Education. There's a faculty version and a student version. I've read both. So if you're interested, maybe reading that, or attending the events that day, let Abby or I know, we can get you a copy.
Are there any other questions this evening? So I see none. Thank you for the report. Moving to the report of Director Robinson.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's had a good week so far. My favorite amendment is number 13, the abolishment of slavery. Section 1, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except the punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to that jurisdiction. This week I met with Director of Career Services, Josh Reed, and Director Reed of Career Services. I also met with the Provost, John Chenoweth, and Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Kristen Philhauer, along with Director Reiser. Met with Angela Maldonian to discuss dining. Met with Vice President Bohm and Associate Director Ballesteri. Next week I will attend lunch with Peter Felton, who is visiting our campus for our Chancellor's Committee on Student Success. I will attend our Student Affairs bi-weekly with Kristen McFrank, and I will be attending the City Council meeting in this very room tomorrow as well. I will continue to work on our innovative approaches with the Dean of Students Office. There will be 3 committees coming from that plan moving forward in the rebrand, and then Director Reiser and I will continue to work on career services. Go Hawks. Any questions? With that, Mr. Speaker, I yield to any questions.
Any questions for Director Robinson this evening? Thank you for that report. Moving to the report of Associate Director Ballesteri.
Hey everyone, glad to see that you're here today. So, not to join the bandwagon and all, but honestly, the First Amendment is my favorite amendment. The protection of freedom, speech, religion, press, assembly, and petition. So last week, I reached out to Ben Smith and the Whitewater landlords to solidify plans for the housing fair this upcoming first week of October. I connected with Terry Tamburello to set up a meeting to learn more about campus and what housing is planning to do this year. I also met with Director Robinson and Vice President Bowen to figure out what we're going to do this year. I also had some more conversations with students regarding dining, focusing on the quality of food and the current system that's in place. I'm excited to see how Chartwell is going to do this year to enhance student experience. This upcoming week, I'm going to be meeting with Director Jan Billigan and Vice President Parker to discuss our vision for housing fair. I'm setting up meetings with CSO and Health and Counseling to correlate how we can help them and what their needs will be. Again, thank you all for coming. If you need anything, please let me know. Go Warhawks.
Any questions for Associate Director Ballesteri this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none, thank you for the report. Moving to the report of Director Smith.
Hi everyone, happy Constitution Day. My favorite amendment is the 26th Amendment. Who in here knows what the 26th Amendment is? Nobody. The 26th Amendment made it so you didn't have to be 21 to vote. It is so you could be 18 to vote, which should be pretty important to the people in this room. But on that note, before I get to my report, we were going to do it all at once, but never mind, I'll keep reading. I highlighted an initiative last week called 50 and 15, so now I get to explain what that is to you. This is an initiative that Warhawks Vote is collaborating with student government on to get 50% of the student body registered to vote within the 15 days between October 1st and October 15th. If you were here in the fall of 2021, this should sound kind of similar to the 70 and 70 initiative to get COVID vaccines. That's where I got my inspiration. Thank you, UW system. So we'll be tabling every single one of those days, which is part of why I need volunteers for Warhawks Vote. This will include a number of different outreach initiatives with more updates to come. If you're interested in volunteering, see me after the meeting. Last week, I met with Kim Clarkson in the SAI office and solidified a plan for the 50-15 initiative on Connect 2. You can now find that on Connect 2, and if you're registered to vote, you can check in already, so please do that. I met with the Chancellor's Committee on Inclusive Excellence, met with the Warhawks Vote Committee, worked on voter registration initiatives, connected with faculty members about potential presentations, worked with Faculty Senate so that now those resources are sent to all faculty members, and I worked with New Student Seminar to get those professors access to the same resources. This week, I will be coordinating tabling for the council meeting tomorrow, working with the Warhawks Vote Committee, meeting with the Royal Purple about voter registration promotion, meeting with student organizations about getting out the vote, and creating an intergovernmental newsletter that will go out on Thursday. Any questions?
Any questions for Director Smith? Thank you for the report. Moving to the report of Director Hopkins.
Hi everybody, it's super great to be back. Currently what I'm working on is printing the brochures, office signage, and placards. I do have majority of your placards here. I can set them out on the table, so if after the meeting you want to come pick yours up, you can do so. I met with Ramsey, LaValent, Hawkheart, and I still have to meet with them, but met with Hawkheart and Warhawks Vote last week, and there were a bunch of separate meetings today and last week to discuss all their different marketing efforts across the departments and how we can best support different areas on campus and promote different resources to students, and I'll be sharing Senate updates such as meeting recordings, graphics, Warhawk Spoke graphics. Everything will be on our social media, so if you're not following at WSG on Instagram or Facebook, please do so now. And I will also be creating a general WSG marketing plan to promote the Senate and the organization moving forward. And we'll be meeting with Warhawk Spoke this Friday. If you need anything, feel free to email me or reach out to me on WebEx.
Any questions for Director Dockey this evening?
What's your favorite amendment?
My favorite amendment is the 19th Amendment, which gives the right of citizens the right to vote, and they should not be denied or hampered by the United States on the account of their sexual identification.
Another comment, Laura is phenomenal at all she does for this organization, but she can only do so much, so please do her a favor and be sure to follow our Instagram and our Facebook and help us out as an organization as a whole.
And share our posts so we can reach more students everywhere.
And share our posts. That's all I have.
Any other questions for Director Dockey this evening? Only once, twice, seeing none. Thank you for that report. Moving to the report, Clerk Wolf.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to start off with my favorite amendment. It's also the 19th, so if you want to explain that, but it is. A few updates from me. I'm still waiting on when the next parking meeting is going to be. I met with the Vice President and the Speaker to discuss the Senate election calendar, which we all will be voting on next week, or approving, I should say. We'll be setting up a meeting with Kim Clarkson about Connect 2 for multiple reasons, but also for the Senate election. And then I'll be, like the Vice President said, I'll be doing stuff with the Google Drive. Now, I did some parking updates for you all. Lot 11 for the Williams Center lot is a rainbow lot. So if you have a parking pass, you can park there. Doesn't matter what kind of parking pass, if it's resident, if it's commuter, if it's staff, you can park there. Lot 11 also for the football games is first come, first serve if you can't reserve a spot anymore. And there will be credit card machines purchased to assist that. Eventually, I don't have the timeline on that, but they'll be there. Lot 19 was completely redone and resurfaced. There are improvement plans, so along with Lot 19, there was an underground spring that was impacted. So a portion of the lot still needs to be repaired and fixed, so that's still closed off. So if you have parking lot, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't, no, you do. Lot 12, it was seal coated this last summer. And then Lot 11 will be somewhat redone in the summer of 2025. Warhawk Drive will be fixed in the summer of 2026, and Lot 21 will be fixed in the summer of 2027. With that,
Any questions for Clerk Wolf and Director Robinson?
Is it true that the rainbow lot idea was something that came from Whitewater Student Government?
yes, it is. All I work we did last semester. That was something.
Any other questions for the clerk this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none. Thank you for that report. We'll do the report of parliamentary tree association.
Happy Monday, everyone. My favorite constitutional amendment is the 10th. Does anyone know what that is? Cool. That's what I figured. Oh? Well, talk Constitution. No. But the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited to it by the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. Basically, it's the system for the federalist government we live in. So, basically, if something is not in the Constitution, you as a person, or the state you live in, should control it. We've had a couple of Supreme Court cases about that recently. But yeah. Last week, worked on outreach events, got the calendar and the guidelines done. Assisted with some legislation. We had a Senate leadership meeting, involvement fair, SUFAC special meeting to finalize the spending guidelines for fiscal year 26. Now department overview meetings. This week, I'm taking on the SUFAC website, more legislation work, continuing office redecorating, so got some pictures to go through. Tomorrow, Whitewater Common Council meeting in this room at 6:30. Another SUFAC meeting and another NALT meeting. So if you flip your page in your packet, you come up to the outreach event guideline sheet. You should all have, you all have to do 3 this semester. So the timeline here, the first one is due September 27th. Second is due October 25th, and the third is November 22nd.
What is an outreach event? You might be saying if you're new or you haven't done it in a while. Well, from the standing rules, an outreach event should generally involve informing the student body of the functions of WSG and gathering feedback from students. The standing rules, that's all I really say. Not really here. So it really just gives the power to the parliamentarian to determine what counts as one. So I have 5 different things you can count as one. Tabling, so if you're tabled at the involvement fair last week, for example, or any other WSG fair you have coming up, housing fair, things like that. Any event for Warhawks vote, such as tabling, shopping, will count towards outreach. It's a nice, easy way to do that. If you want to table in the UC for an hour, that'll also count. If you meet with an e-board member of a student organization you are already not affiliated with, there's a list of questions you can ask them. You gotta ask 4 out of 6. Those are direct from parliamentarian emeritus Trenton Curves. Third one you can do is gather feedback from students. So you reach out to 20 different people and just get one piece of feedback from them. It can be as simple as I hate dining, or it can be as complex as I don't like the purple on that wall over there. Just any kind of feedback. And then you gotta write a short memo on just summarizing the concerns you got. It can be positive feedback, it can be negative feedback, and then just write just some potential solutions WSG could address. The fourth one is going to a shared governance group or other elected government body, such as Whitewater County Council tomorrow. So you want to get an easy one out of the way, you can go to that tomorrow. Also, Faculty Senate, University Staff Assembly Council, Academic Staff Assembly, and then the ROC SGA. If you got any of those will also count. If you have another one that I didn't think of, you can just reach out, email me, and I'll probably approve it if it is a elected body's meeting. If you invite someone to run for a Senate seat and they come and stand at the podium and give their speech and we vote on them, that will count towards outreach member. They do have to mention in their speech that you invited them. Otherwise, I can't verify that you actually did and you're not just trying to claim credit for someone else. But if you have another idea, you can always email me if it's approved, if you have something that I didn't think of, or you have something that's not listed here. You have to justify how to outreach to students and how it fulfills the requirements from the standing rules. I'll be sending out an email tonight after the meeting to recap and provide you the form you have to fill out. Please ask questions about outreach events because you have to do them. If not, you get an unexcused absence. But with that, Mrs. Speaker, I yield to any discussion, questions, concerns, comments about outreach events.
Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Senator Houston?
Yeah, so if I recall correctly, there is a Google form that you have to fill out in order to let the administration know that we did our outreach event. Is that correct?
Yep, I'll be sending it out tonight. So.
Okay.
Thank you, Speaker Wilson.
If I wanted to find the same way that each outreach event would do, where could I?
Well, it's in the report right here. I'll probably include it in my report every week going forward. Otherwise, it'll be in your email forever. I'm sure there's various other amount of places. You can email me, you can stop in the office, and I'm sure it'll be posted up there this week. There's a myriad of places it will be posted.
Are there any other questions or anything else this evening regarding outreach events that will confuse you? Moving on, 2020, seeing none, thanks in the report. Moving on to the report of Deputy Speaker Wilson.
Howdy folks, how we doing? Great. Good, it's so good to see you all. Okay, before I get into my report, I would like to first say our wonderful advisor, Jim Billigan, introduced us to the word peak. I'm a geyser. I've been a geyser for a lot of my life, and I'm trying to get out of being a geyser. So I say things like, hey guys, if I guys in front of y'all from now on, could you peep me? Could we do that? Oh, thank you so much, Janet. I thought you'd say yes. All right, into my report. So last week I met with Speaker Fennis, Parliamentary Treatise, to address outreach events, office hours, goals for Senate leadership, etc. And into office hours, what that looks like is, if you don't know what an office hour is because you're newer to the room, we have a wonderful office down in WCC. If you'd like me to walk you there after the meeting, you're more than welcome. I leave all my stuff there. I know a lot of folks do. So if you want to be shown what that office looks like or some of the stuff that we've got in there, cool things, you're more than welcome to walk down after the meeting, but you're required to spend an hour in there at some point throughout the week, ideally getting some work done regarding to our body, whether it's writing legislation, thinking about student concerns, etc. But also just talking to the folks around, getting to know your colleagues that you work with. So the way that's going to work and the way it's worked in the past is there's a little QR code. If that doesn't work for you, please come to me, but that seems to be the easiest way that it's worked in the past. I'm working to get a QR code put up there by the end of the week, so that'll be there by Friday. I'm sure you're thinking, what if I do my office hour before Friday? Isaiah, no worries. Do it retroactively. So scan it on Friday or whatever it is for this week and say you did it Monday. That'll be no worries. If you did one for this week, if you did one for last week, thank you. It's good to see you all. That is really just also, I'm filling my calendar with meetings with all of you guys starting this week and into the rest of the month. Otherwise, I yield the questions.
Any questions for Deputy Speaker Wilson this evening? Going once, going twice.
What's your favorite constitutional amendment?
Oh, thank you for asking. It's the 13th Amendment. Director Robinson explained it, but it's the one that stopped slavery, which is pretty bad, so I'm a big fan.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice, seeing none. Moving into my report this evening. Had a Senate leadership meeting this week to determine outreach events and office hours. There was more last week as well. Attended NALS on Friday. And we went over some budgetary things for the university. Met with SUTAC chair last week and the president to discuss plans for the year as well as the listserv that is not existent now, as we call it Google Groups now. So is everyone getting the agenda sent to them when I send it out Friday afternoon? If you're not, please raise your hand. 3 individuals, 4, okay, perfect. Director Robinson?
Point of information.
Yes.
Was this sent out on Friday this week? Like, did you send one this week?
Yes.
I only got one from Tessie.
Okay.
Wolfenson.
Okay, I'll make note of that as well. So 4 senators are not on the email list. Advisor Billigan?
I would just ask that any senator who has not already found WSG requested to be a member do so, because that will also get them in the list to be emailed to. So we'll send you an invite, but you can also ask to be part of it.
Join on Connect.
Sorry?
Join on Connect? Okay, perfect. Are we all good there? Yes.
I didn't get it either.
What did you say?
I didn't get it either. The agenda.
Oh, Connect 2. Please join there. We have the QR code up from being in the meeting. I'm sure we can put it back up right now. Perfect. And then if you just scan that, you'll join the lister. Rick Wilmington, Birmingham. Yes.
Did y'all get my email with the packet today at least?
Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Robinson.
I solved my technical issue. I'm good.
All right. Sorry to go off track a little bit. Seem a little hectic. And then we'll also be discussing internal and external committees after the 2 bills that are coming up shortly. So are there any questions from me this evening? Do we have any questions? Going once, going twice. Seeing none, moving into unfinished business this evening, which we have none, and moving into new business this evening, starting with R24-2501, resolution celebrating the 2024 Paralympic USA Men's Wheelchair Basketball Team. Submitters, you have the floor whenever you're ready.
Good evening, everyone. So, as many of you know, there was the Paralympics and Olympics the past couple weeks. And we had 2 amazing teams representing not only the United States in the Paralympics, but also UW-Whitewater. And which one are we starting with? Because my packet's
The men's.
the men's, okay. So, for the resolution celebrating the 2024 Paralympics USA Men's Wheelchair Basketball Team, the men's wheelchair basketball team brought home gold for the 3rd year in a row, winning against Team Great Britain. This team also consisted of men who have worked on just being part of the wheelchair basketball team on campus, and they just spent a lot of time on it. And so I'd like to point out the second recognizing, which says, recognizing 6 of the Warhawks who represented Team USA and the United States of America in the Summer 2024 Paralympics, which consists of current students, alumni, and staff of the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater are John Boyd, AJ Fitzpatrick, Nate Kins, Callan Jordan, Jeremy Meyer, and Jake Williams. And then also pointing out the therefore be it resolved and the therefore it finally be resolved. The therefore be it resolved, the Whitewater student government celebrates the accomplishments of these Warhawks at the 2024 Paralympic Games and congratulates them on their unprecedented achievements. And therefore be it finally resolved, the Whitewater student government formally honors the athletes at the 2024 Paralympics who represented the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, Team USA, and the United States of America on the men's wheelchair basketball team. Real questions?
Perfect. Moving to content changes this evening. Are there any content changes after reading through the bill this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none. Are there any clerical edits this evening? President Bradley?
Between the final recognizing and there can be resolved, there seems to be quite a large gap.
Are there any other clerical edits this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none. Madam Clerk, oh, sorry, before we move to roll call vote, is there any discussion or questions on the bill this evening? Parliamentary Trucas.
Yeah, I think this is just an amazing thing, what these Warhawks have done, and I think it's the bare minimum we can do is to recognize them for their hard work. Now, I don't know if this WSG resolution will make a dent to their gold medal, but I think it's still important to recognize them, just, from the body they once were.
There seems no other questions or discussion. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Senator Carter?
Aye.
Senator Culberson?
Aye.
Senator Dorsey? Aye. Senator Dewey?
Aye.
Senator Irwin?
Aye.
Senator Esserholm?
Aye.
Senator Houston?
Aye.
Senator Khan?
Aye.
Senator LePin?
Aye.
Senator Michael?
Aye.
Senator Patrigues?
Aye.
Senator Rattel?
Aye.
Senator Rice?
Aye.
Senator Rosquist?
Aye.
Senator West?
Aye.
Senator Wilson?
Aye.
Speaker Pettis?
Alright, with that, ARC 2425 resolution celebrating the 2024 Paralympics USA men's wheelchair basketball team has been approved unanimously. Moving into ARC 242502, resolution celebrating the 2024 Paralympics USA women's wheelchair basketball team.
The USA women's wheelchair basketball team also went to the final game, and they competed against the Netherlands and earned silver. And they also worked so hard and dedicated so much time towards this. And one major thing that one of these athletes has done on our campus, not only just being part of the women's wheelchair basketball team, is one of them helped support and make the women's wheelchair basketball team on our campus. So I thought that was something kind of unique to point out about one of them. But also pointing out the second recognizing 4 of the Warhawks who represented Team USA and the United States of America in the Summer 2024 Paralympics, which consists of both alumni and staff of the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, are Becca Murray, Lindsay Zerbrug, Coach Christina Schwab, and Assistant Coach Desiree Miller. Then pointing out that therefore be it resolved and therefore be it finally resolved. Therefore be it resolved that the Whitewater student government commends the achievements of the Warhawks at the 2024 Paralympic Games and extends its congratulations to their remarkable success. And therefore be it finally resolved that the Whitewater student government formally recognizes and honors the athletes of the 2024 Paralympic Games who represented the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, Team USA, and the United States of America on the women's wheelchair basketball team. I yield to the speaker.
Perfect. We'll move to content changes again. Are there any content changes this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none, moving to clerical edits this evening. Are there any clerical edits to the bill? Going once, going twice, seeing none, are there any questions this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none, are there any discussion points this evening? Parliamentarian Rodriguez.
I mean, again, I think it's really important to recognize these Warhawks for the silver medal. Nothing to scoff at, that's better than probably all of us would do. Yeah.
Senator Irwin.
I would just like to add on that the fact that this university at one time had people who are among the best in the world at their sport is to me an inspirational fact, and I think one of the great things that this resolution does is let people know about them so that they can go on to inspire other members of our community.
Any other discussion points this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Senator Carter.
Aye.
Senator Culberson.
Aye.
Senator Dorsey.
Aye.
Senator Dewey.
Aye.
Senator Irwin.
Aye.
Senator Esserholm. Aye. Senator Houston.
Aye.
Senator Khan.
Aye.
Senator Lappin.
Aye.
Senator Michael.
Aye.
Senator Rodriguez.
Aye.
Senator McDowell.
Aye.
Senator Rice.
Aye.
Senator Rosequist. Aye. Senator West.
Aye.
Senator Wilson.
Aye.
Speaker Bennett.
Aye. And with that, R 24-2502, resolution celebrating the 2024 Paralympics USA Women's Wheelchair Basketball Team has been approved unanimously. Moving into line item D this evening under new business, internal and external committees. I won't stand up for anything for that, make it short and sweet. If you move to the back of the packet and see the spreadsheet of internal and external committees, please note where your name is beside the committee name. Please reach out to your chairs for the external committees via email and introduce yourself. Say you've been appointed to the X committee, whatever it is, and introduce yourself as a senator. Explain that you are on the committee and that you were appointed, and you look forward to doing good work with whoever is on the committee, something along those lines. For internal committees, please reach out to the chair at the end of the meeting, if that is all right with the e-board, as they might have more information for you all regarding upcoming meetings on your respective committee appointments. If you have any questions about a committee you were selected to, or any concerns, please reach out to me via email or in person after the meeting as well. But I will yield to any questions regarding committees. Director Robinson?
How important is it for all of us to take part in our internal and external committees?
Yes. So as I mentioned last week, I kind of spieled out external and internal committees, basically representing the core of Whitewater Student Government and how important external and internal committees are. All the work, and most of the work that we do actually, comes from the committees that we are on externally and internally as we are working with a team to achieve a certain goal. So please, if you are on an external committee, for example, please submit a report to me, and we will give external committee report at Senate meetings on Mondays. It can be something very short. It doesn't need to be crazy long. As long as you're meeting with your external committee, please submit a report to myself before Friday at noon so I can add it to the agenda as well. You won't need to do that for internal committees, but again, they are basically the core of Whitewater Student Government and the work that we do, as a lot of our work stems from these committees that we are a part of. Parliamentarian Rodriguez?
Please correct me if I'm wrong, so by nature of approving this, you're approving Chase Zimmerman as a WSG representative?
Yes, that's correct. And I'll correct you, not WSG representative, a student here at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, as any student can be a part of the committee. Are there any other questions this evening? Director Robinson?
Is it true that the only requirement to be placed on a committee is to be a UW-Whitewater student?
Yes, that is true. Are there any other questions? Going once, going twice, seeing none. Please reach out if you do have any questions, but in the meantime, please reach out to your chairs on those committees. Moving into announcements this evening. Are there any announcements starting over here, President Bradley?
Please, if you are a senator or an executive or a future senator or even the assistant vice chancellor of student affairs, please scan this QR code so we can make sure everybody's on our listserv and you receive updates and whatnot. We'll leave it up for after the meeting and see if they come up this way. But if you attended tonight, please fill it out. Thank you.
Advisor Miller has a question? You can go ahead.
No, just an announcement.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, no,
Okay, sorry.
okay, yeah, Advisor Miller, you can go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so I can't see you. I can kind of hear you. It's kind of bad. I would just really encourage all the senators and anyone who's in the gallery this evening to attend the Common Council meeting tomorrow. One, it's a great thing to support one of our own who is currently serving in that role. That is an elected role in the city. But also they are going to be talking about the safety of Starin Road. And as well as a Spring Splash Task Force, I believe, is also on the agenda. So I would think that your deputy speaker would, of course, embrace that as an office hour, perhaps. And maybe you said that in your report, and I'm sorry if I didn't hear it. But it would be really great for city council folks and city administrators to see our active engagement with them. You'll get another chance in February due to something that Director Smith supported this summer during her work, but bring a friend, show up. There'll be seats for 40 in this room.
Vice President Bain?
Awesome. Well, I would just like to echo what Advisor Bilgan said. The Common Council, as I said over here, Common Council will count as one of your outreach events, and we have 5 open slots still. So that goes from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. tomorrow in UC 259. Your very own President Bradley will be giving a speech there as well. So we would love all y'all to attend. So sign-up sheet is right here for that. And then moving on to our office pictures and everything. As many of y'all probably know, we have a huge stack of those that is in the office right now. And what I would love y'all to do is collaborate with me on that. So I believe this will count as an office hour. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you can go in there for your office hour, go through that big pile of pictures. If there's any of them that you like or would like to be hung up in the office, I'm gonna have 2 different Post-it notes, and you can put them in 2 separate piles for which ones you'd like posted up in the office. And then finally, if you do not have access to the WSG office, please come see me after we can get your name and hall card down so you can get access to that ASAP.
Director Reiser?
So academic affairs and student affairs internal committees will be doing joint meetings. And so the first one, I know it's a little bit last minute, but it's gonna be this Thursday from 12 to 1, because Director Robinson and I, we do need to meet with you all this week. So if you cannot attend, no worries, because we do understand it's last minute, but please come see us after so that we can get that all sorted out. And also, please update all of your calendars so that we can see for like future meetings when you're available. Thank you.
Director Robinson?
Just echoing to make so everybody heard it twice. Student Affairs internal committee will meet this week Thursday from noon to 1. If you cannot make it, please come see myself or Associate Director Ballesteri after the meeting. Also, there will be a career services survey. We're asking that all the senators during your office hour fill that survey out and also share it with 5 people. Data is really important in the work that we're doing in the space that we're in right now, so we really need this survey to get pushed. There also will be a safety walk survey coming out as well, so if there's any spaces on campus that you feel are too dark or unsafe for you or your peers, please have them fill out that survey. So on the safety walk, October 17th, you can we can make sure to visit that spot. Also, if there are any senators that would like to attend the safety walk, please let me know as well. I'll be there. President Bradley and Vice President Bone will be on the golf carts riding around looking at different safety spots on campus. And also, Senator Culberson, Dorsey, and Dewey, can you please see Director Reiser and myself after the meeting?
Director Smith?
Just to echo what several people said before me, please come to the council meeting tomorrow. There's a lot of interesting things happening. It's also a good way to celebrate Constitution Day and National Voter Registration Day. and on the note of voter registration, if you need volunteer hours, or if you need an outreach hour, or if you need an office hour, please reach out to me and I will find something for you to do for Warhawks Vote. That can look like hanging posters, that can look like chalking. There's so many different things that need to be done to get this initiative done, and I need hands. So if you need volunteer time or want to volunteer, see me after the meeting.
Parliamentarian Rodriguez?
My goal with outreach events was to do something that is both beneficial to you, but also beneficial to the organization. So, if you have any questions about outreach events, please come see me, like, in 2 minutes.
Deputy Speaker Wilson?
Register to vote, guys. It's that time of year. Be a good citizen. Appreciate you all.
Going around once more, quick set.
I have passing around right now, Taylor, the designer, left a gift of a sticker from the city of Whitewater, as well as from the city clerk, a resource on how to register to vote. So if you don't get that, I have it.
Perfect. Seeing no other announcements, I'll finish up here. Just to clarify, updating your calendar when Director Robinson mentioned that, he's referencing your Outlook calendar. Please add classes or other various meetings that you might have on a daily basis on your Outlook calendar. If you have any questions regarding that, please reach out to me. I can show you my hectic Outlook calendar and I can show you how to utilize that as a helpful tool if you do not use it already. I believe that's all I have. Director Robinson, you have a question?
Outlook calendars, please. And you can also, if you have an iPhone, connected to your calendar that is connected to your phone as well. It's a great resource and it's a great way to stay organized. But for us to do the job that we do, we need the Outlook calendars to be updated. And if you have any questions, please ask.
If you look on the Student Government Connect 2 page, there's a whole bunch of events coming up, other than Senate meetings. So if you're interested in connecting with your, the people on your ballot, you should sign up for those.
Going around once more for announcements, seeing no other announcements, we'll move to adjourn, and move to adjourn. Parliamentarian Rodriguez?
Move to adjourn.
There's a second, seconded by Senator Rice. Is there a voice vote? Acclamations by called. Seeing none opposed, we are out here at 8:18.